Welcome back to Crypto Made CI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. Ripple doesn't compete with banks. It connects them. The Biz, the World Bank, the U.S. Treasury, central banks. The table is set, my friends. The liquidity token, XRP. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse in talk with the IMF Deputy General Counsel Ross Lecco. Within a year, I predict the financial institutions like banks will be using XRP in their payment flows. It turns out he was right.
So my prediction, about 1 year ago, I actually was here at the Singapore FinTech Festival, and I got in trouble when I went back to the office because the PR team said I had overstepped by predicting that within a year, I predicted that financial institutions like banks would be using XRP in their payment flows. And that was a year ago that I made that prediction, and I go back to the office, and everybody was like, Brad, you're not allowed to say things like that. It turns out I was right. Which I remind the team of. So now as I look forward a year from now, like what are the things that are hard for us to imagine being true? And not even specific to Ripple or to XRP's community. I think one of the things that will surprise us a year from now is that banks will be custodying digital assets directly. And I think right now we think about that and think, look, there's no way that's going to happen. They're too conservative. And I think what you're seeing is, two things happening. One is banks are seeing that a lot of money is being made by digital asset exchanges globally, and banks are profit motivated. The second, and as we've talked about up here, certainly Ross has made very clear, is regulatory clarity and regulatory frameworks enable banks and financial institutions to lean into these markets. And I think we will surprise ourselves by this time. And by the way, I'll also predict that it will be banks in the ASEAN markets where there is this regulatory clarity and there is a lot of progressive forward thinking. They'll be the first to actually allow for crypto assets custody in their accounts.
Well, it sure does look like he was right, because he was. And what's crazy is it's pretty much gone further than that, in my opinion. We're in some very exciting times, almost like the new frontier being discovered. Cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology is going to open the door for many, many different types of things. And this is a pretty interesting post. CEO of Bitwise Invest, Hunter Horsley, gives hints of this upcoming week as big. What do you think will happen? Comment down below and you tell me. He says it's a big week coming. Maybe an ETF or something? Jeffrey K. from Standard Chartered Bank estimates 6 to 8 more months before institutional money gets regulatory clarity for DeFi. Then he mentions one major bank is going to make an announcement entering into the space next year, and all the rest will FOMO. Lock and load, my friends. 2025 was another foundational year. HODL, earn yield, compound those bags, and focus long term. This is not financial advice. Do your own research, my friends.
I think it's going to be massive, actually, and I'll probably go even slightly further than the other guys. I think we have now the tokenized cash version, call it what you like. We have the tokenized money market fund stuff. We have each of these weekend liquid now. We have a large push now already into tokenized equities. We will get Clarity Act, SEC guidelines. We'll work out what we can do in DeFi, what's legitimate, what can scale in DeFi. And I think this is all like in the next 6 to 9 months, actually. And so I think if we today have something like $30 billion in tokenized real-world assets outstanding, in 12 months, we're going to be at like 300 billion. So I think you're just at that acceleration point where regulation, liquidity, and others can come together, and we can move very, very quickly. So it's equities now. It will be tokenized broader funds at some stage. Like when I talk to the real money accounts, at some stage next year, one of the main ones that possibly starts with B is going to say, okay, here's like $50 billion fund, which is now all in tokenized space. And when after that, you'll get all the FOMO from all the others doing exactly the same, right? So we're just now at that tipping point in tokenized real world asset space. And the average person will end up with a new wallet in their phone. They won't know the cash part is stablecoins. They won't know the equity part is tokenized Apple stock. They won't know the money market fund is with BUIDL, right? So, and because of AI agents next year, when everyone has that as well, every time you get paid every month, an individual will be able to be super capital efficient, right? So money comes in and goes out immediately to each of these assets, and you can get in and out of them on weekends. You can do stuff in DeFi with them to get extra leverage as well. So I think we're just there now. At this explosion. So actually for me, if 2025 has been about stablecoins, 2026 might be all about this, quite seriously.
And he says 6 to 8 months. I believe the Clarity Act will most likely be pushed through the Senate and signed by the president by the end of the year, in my opinion. XRP Army, this is our moment. Check this out. XRP just went from courtroom battles to boardroom dominance. Ripple Swell 2025 agenda reads like a who's who of global finance. BlackRock, Nasdaq, Citi, BNY Mellon, Fidelity, State Street, Moody's, JPMorgan, Mastercard. These aren't crypto curious. They're world shapers, policymakers, capital allocators, and they're all sitting with Ripple. The same XRP most of the world ignored for years. Yeah, that XRP. You held through the FUD, the lawsuits, the silence. Now the top banks are sinking with the ledger you saw before they did. Bitcoin Treasury CEO Elliot Johnson says XRP is the answer to moving money at the speed of light. Even the Bitcoin side is starting to recognize what's coming.
Sending email at the speed of light, and yet it's going to cost me like $40 and take 3 days, and maybe the money I send from Toronto can get to South Africa, but maybe not. And then I have to go chase after it. Like, it's ridiculous. And so XRP is just, you just tell that story, and then you say, oh, but there's also this protocol, and it's called XRP, and it's a cryptocurrency, and it's built for seamless instant payments. And as every country kind of comes onto the network and has a liquid local market, you can send on one, receive on the other. And then people are like, okay, I kind of get why you want that. It's like Western Union, except that it's not, doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. And it's like, that's right. And so it's all part of the same story. And what I love about it is it's another one to talk about, right? It's another example to talk about that, again, wakes people up to the fact that this is what's happening. This is what this asset class is all about. And again, like, if you live in your small world in your own country, and I don't mean that to offend anybody, but if you only live inside your own country and you only operate in your own economy, and you're lucky enough to be in a developed Western nation, you can go ahead, by all means, go ahead and ignore these advances in digital assets because you probably don't need them yet for yourself. But there are a lot of people in the world for whom this stuff is actually a meaningful improvement.
You can tell right there he's not a Bitcoin maxi. He's a technology person. He's an innovator. He doesn't give a rat's ass about the Bitcoin XRP fight. He's just speaking the facts. He's just speaking the truth. Ripple and XRP created the internet of value. Although XRP ETFs are likely to be the last to be approved, they will be the ones that move the most money. Solana will be incomparable to XRP and even meme coins like Litecoin. Patience, there are only a few days left. And last up, an official Swift commercial highlighting the importance of ISO 222 and reaffirms Swift's central role in global finance. Check this out. Watch it closely.
For 40 years, Swift has been the backbone for the financial services industry, connecting over 10,000 global organizations. Swift brings the financial community together by defining standards and market practice. ISO 20022 is the universal standard for financial messaging that is rapidly becoming the natural choice for market infrastructures and their communities. It enables automation, reduces costs and risks, and allows regional integration. New ISO 20022 initiatives are being announced all the time, but there are implementation challenges. Financial institutions connecting to multiple market infrastructures need to adhere to different local market practices, versions, technical environments, and timetables. Market infrastructures need to plan, design, implement, test, and migrate their entire community. Swift is responding to community requests to lead the adoption of ISO 20022 through its experience and its position in the industry. Swift has deep ISO 20022 expertise. It helped write the standard, acts as the registration authority, and is the facilitator of market practice. As a trusted advisor, Swift provides end-to-end support across communities. Swift operates the only worldwide value-added network designed specifically for ISO 20022. As both a standards body and a network provider, Swift brings consistency to the rollout of ISO 20022, providing a platform for innovative new services. This unique combination reduces cost and risk for market infrastructures and their communities. Swift for ISO 20022, the trusted source for ISO 20022 projects. Find out more at
The date to watch for is November 22nd, 2025. That's when the implementation of the ISO 222 standards will be fully in place. All banks and financial institutions making cross-border payments will have to use the ISO 222 messaging standard. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.